Hello friends, this is Dr. Manish Bhatia from Homeopathy.com. We are very pleased to have with us today Dr. Yogesh Sehgal, one of the pioneers of Sehgal Method of Homeopathy and the younger son of Dr. M.L. Sehgal, the founder of revolutionized homeopathy or the Sehgal Method of Homeopathy as we all know about it. I conducted this interview over Skype when I was in India and Dr. Sehgal was in Germany. So the voice quality is not very clear and I apologize for that. But in most part, Dr. Sehgal's voice is very clear. My questions are not very clear though. My first question to him was about the earliest memories that he has about his father, Dr. M.L. Sehgal. So over to you, Dr. Sehgal.
Earliest memory, I could say I was always seeing, okay, I think when I was 9 years old, then I think perhaps we started to know homeopathy and learning also together by a friend close by who was a doctor and also doing homeopathy in the evening. So basically he was a tired doctor. And what he's doing with it because he needs it. So he was going to him in the evening and see that this I remember him reading the books and buying many medicines, homeopathic medicine, which I used to buy for him. That is my initial memory with him.
Aware of what homeopathy
No.
what was the difference?
No, never. Because that was not in my part of education. And I only remember him, he's going to buy books and very happy when he buy a new set of some books. It was very hard for him to buy the books because of his not so much big income, but he was passionate about it somehow. And it's grown and grown. It started growing very much. And I remember once he bought the whole LL encyclopedia, the whole books, and he was so happy to have it. And nobody understands the family why he bought all these books, very new, fresh. And so he was, I know only that he was a passionate person about homeopathy. And then I started helping him by the age of 16 in his clinic as a assistant. So I was not in homeopathy, I was in 12th then. And I saw him working very hard on the patient, very, very hard. And working very hard on a system to develop something where he was not confident that homeopathy will survive in one way. He was thinking that only those people will be successful in homeopathy who get by chance results. The results are not by their knowledge, but the results come because something can happen between medicine and the problem. For example, somebody has a pain, you give bryonia without understanding those days what is the bryonia patient means. So those days, I think in 70s and 80s, medicine was prescribed only on the basis of symptoms, what is written in the book. So nobody was confirming it at all. For example, there is a merk salt patient, they read the merk salt and there is a apathy or ulcers in the mouth, so they give it and it works. So nobody was sure, they think this is homeopathy. Okay, so you read something from the book, see a symptom, and read it and give it. So the concept of man was not there at all. What is man? Nobody understood organon, that what is the man definition. So the idea of organon was very poor in those days, and people were not aware of organon at all. So I think he started studying in a very deep way to understand how we can find a man in not a disease. And then he thought that I don't remember, but he was discussing about the mind with some doctors who were coming our home. And nobody has idea about what to do with this rubrics at all. So they were not sure about it, as there is no clear clarification in any book, even in Kent, even in Honeyman books or in Allen Encyclopedia, about using of rubric or interpretation of rubric, or only okay. There are two things: mind symptoms was existing in all the books. Mind symptoms are there, but he was not convinced with symptoms. He was thinking that apart from mind symptoms, patient says something which we don't understand what he means to say. For example, patient comes and says, "Tell me about my problem." So, in the beginning, he was like other homeopaths, ignoring this. Yes, it can happen. But when he understood, when he opened the repertory, he was curious to understand what is this repertory means. What is this mind rubric? Rubric means what? So people were using, except mind, all the things from the repertory, maybe very rare people, because those days people were using materia medica to prescribe.
Yes.
Repertory came into very late into the understanding of the people, that we repertorize the case. Then I think Dr. Rastogi or Dr. Jugal Kishore, they brought this card repertory. I think that was the idea. From there the people get some idea that repertory is a part of, can be a part of selecting a medicine. So for him, it was very curious to understand. For example, uh, there were rubrics, like all the rubrics from A to Z. So he was not clear at all that how. I mean, he was looking into the books, but there was no idea into the books that, for example, there is a rubric impulsive, for example. Now he would open the book Materia Medica to understand if any author or any master have written a case about impulsive. He was no clue. So he had to search from his way to understand the meaning of impulsive from the dictionary. So he had many old dictionaries which he could find. So he was reading, this I remember, he was opening the repertory, one side, three or four, whatever available Oxford or old 1857 dictionaries, and try to understand word by word. That is the one part he has to do, and then to understand if a patient comes, how will he will express it. So there were two parts: to observe a patient and to understand the repertory by book. So that he has to club together. So he understood that if we go by dictionary, it is impossible task to do it, to use the repertory. So he make a metaphorical explanation of the rubrics. Metaphorical means that go into a very broader sense and not to limit by dictionary only. So he has to feel this word impulsive. So this is how I think that the journey to this method and journey to homeopathy, which I observed till the age of 20 with him, from 10 to 20.
So,
Hmm. Actually, those days, most of the children are doing the things which their parents would recommend. Mostly in those days, it's changed now. But it was not in my father's idea. My brother was already in it. So, as your 11th and 12th, you have your own perception too much about the things around you. So mostly my grandfather or the relatives, they just tell me, you don't have to go to homeopathy. You have two people in the family. You choose something else. You must do something else. So it was not in my mind till 12th when I passed. I want to be a homeopath or what? Actually, I have no idea actually what I want to be. So it is after the result, when he saw that I'm very good in science, he recommended me, if I want, I can join homeopathy. So it was just like an idea, and then I say that, but I can't study like you. You are studying for 12 hours a day. 15 hours a day. This is too much for me to study like this, and I don't know the income, how much income will come from this. So I think as a young youth, those days in 1980s, people were looking, okay, there were not so many options. Now we have more options. There were options, engineering, medicine, or chartered accountant, lawyer. There are four topmost things those days. And homeopathy was nowhere at all. There was no one who was courageous to put their child into homeopathy as a professional. But he asked me, he said, okay, you can go into the college. After first year, if you are not happy, you can withdraw anytime. So that was my entry into homeopathy first. So I have no idea about what he is doing and what I have to do there because I was just assisting him. So listening him something he was doing. That's all. So I just took the admission and went into the college. Yes. 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 No, I think when I entered into the college, my father did not start teaching. He was taking a group of students in his our home only, 4 or 5 students from my brother's batch, Dr. Sanjay Sehgal's batch. They were coming and they were doing something which I don't know what they were doing. I was not into it at all. But when I entered into the college, it was like a science for me. It wasn't a homeopathy or allopathy. I have no idea what is allopathy study, what is homeopathy study. So it was a study for me. But I saw that, I observed that most of my seniors were not happy. They were telling me very discouragingly, oh, it's no use to come into it. Why you came here? This is not a good profession at all. We will all. I think 90% of my senior were of the opinion that after they finish the homeopathy, they are going to practice allopathy, and they are doing it now also. And they say, because our father is allopath, we can't do allopathy now, so it's better to do homeopathy and then start practicing allopathy. So they were not studying. They just come to the college, have a tea and coffee, go around and just passing marks, 50 maybe, and they are happy because then they have allopathy practice. So I did not put any impression in my mind what do they say and what I have to do. So I was listening to them, but I was not scared about this. I will see. I thought that I will see what happens when I finish my college. So I just carry on with my education without thinking what I have to do and not to do. I thought that I will see after I finish how it's going to be. So I did not take anything in my mind. Yeah. I think it was a repertory. If I say repertory, I got the idea 1% only. There was no teacher to teach us repertory. Even I was on the verge of just marginally passed in the repertory. And organon was good. I think I was good in organon. It was good for me to study something in a way to explanation of so organ was a good part of me. I don't know why, but I like this organ part. Mostly the students, my colleagues, they would jump out of the window when the organ teacher comes, and so there were only few were left there in the class, and he knows that. But it was maybe because this teacher was very good. One thing because He was not say teaching monosyllable like this organ like this. He was explaining us very nicely. So maybe his explanation was so good that I liked it. I mean, it was good. Though education was till first year, half year was good in organ. After that, it was collapsed nearly. We did it our own study. We have a group and we used to study on our own. Mostly we studied our own. We were not depending upon the college. Yes, after I passed out, I first thing I immediately joined a charitable clinic and also my own clinic, and then I assisting my father in his own work and listening what he is doing. But if my father was not giving me education in a gold plate, he was very hard to me. So he would say to me, for example, there's a rubric for impulsive. Okay, he says he asked me to get up in the morning at 5, and he says this is a rubric impulsive. Make 10 version of it. And that time I don't know what is version. I never seen a patient. I never know impulsive. So I used to make something 10 lines. I don't know what I'm making. I'm making 10 lines and give him to him. He will tear the paper and throw in the dustbin. He said, go and make it again. It means that he pushed me to understand my own way. And then I thought that every time I bring paper to him, he throw in the dustbin. So I say, okay, I have to apply my mind now, what he wants to say. So then I started applying my own mind about the rubrics without. So I was hearing him. So sometimes he used to tell me, and sometimes I listen outside. For example, I'm standing behind him. So what he's talking with the patient, I listen to it, and then he say, okay, take Bryonia. Then I will see that what he listened and why he prescribed Bryonia. So I was keeping in mind only this the information that when he asks the patient this and patient replies this, he gives Bryonia. So in the clinic, firstly I started doing this. I ask the patient, if he replies like this, I give Bryonia. It means first I followed him blindly without question and answer. So then I started thinking that, okay, this is means this. So I started practicing for 5 years. I only practiced, and after 5 years of practicing, I started learning myself.
Too many books available
Yes.
that have expert systems available. There are videos available. It's written for a person to start
I think when I finished my 5 years of practicing, I was very happy because I was successful. So there was no problem of patients. I think 70 patients in a week. That time was too much for me. I'm very happy. As a 1990, if you have when I started, you have 80 to 100% in a week. I mean, it was very good for me as a practitioner and earning money. So there was a good flow of patient. I remember maybe 40 a day or 50 a day. This was very good for me. So I was very happy not to study. But then after 5 years, it's like I thought that I'm somewhere, I'm stagnant now in my knowledge. Patients are getting better somehow, but I was not satisfied inside that, yes, medicine is working for them. Somehow, something is I'm missing yet. What is missing? So I started to study myself through my father's idea, of course. He was telling me. Then I used to open I started exercising myself. For example, I take a rubric, I start exercising on it, I make more versions on myself, show to my father, and then he started appreciating that, yes, this is the way, I'm on his way now. So to come on his way, actually what he was doing, it took me at least 5 years in the practice. That is why we recommend everybody who wants to learn this method that they should be at least practicing 5 years, then they come to this method. So this is my understanding that when you practice 5 years on your own, then when you come to this system, then you will learn that how different it is and why it is different. So the best part which brought me to in this system is not rubric, not mind, but the best part I liked about this system is management of the case, which nobody talks about it. It means that everybody teaches the method. Everybody says, oh, this is the case taking, this is the rubric, this is the how to come to the picture of the remedy, my picture of remedy. Everybody teaches like this. But the basic part which I teach in my courses, not, I say, to select a medicine is only 25% part. The 75% part which I think missing in the teaching is management of the case. This is very poor knowledge. In college, nobody gives the idea about management of the case. And also as in the seminars, we never get the idea. For example, if you listen a lecture, a teacher will tell you 75% about the case. First, the finding of the case in a pathological way, then what he analyzed the case, how he reached to the medicine, and the relief is there. But in between, how he managed the whole case, what he did with the whole case, that is missing in every seminar. Nobody says that how many years it took, actually, what he said. For example, after the giving the medicine, what you tell the patient, from where the improvement will start. This is missing in the college level. When I give the lecture, then now when the student, they listen my lecture, I tell about the case only 10 minutes. 40 minutes I tell about them, how I manage it, what I say to the patient after the medicine, from where the improvement will start, and after the improvement, what will happen, and then when to change the medicine, when not to change the medicine. This part I think I learned in this method. This method helped me to understand the management, how to manage a patient. And there is no other, I think for me, there is no other method or way by which you can understand after the medicine how the patient is going to behave. This method gives you more clarity that your medicine is right or wrong. Because after selecting a medicine, we believe we found a simlimum. Everybody thinks so. But it is our patient who tell us whether the medicine is simlimum or not. Most of the time, as a doctor, when the patient says, I'm better, we think we found the simlimum. Okay? So this is the one thing which attracted me in this method is management of the case. And then my passion grew in 1995 when I started teaching slowly to a group of doctors in Punjab. I started from Punjab. Teaching. I taught many students there who were doing homeopathically in a very bad way, like a freestyle. No understanding of the man, no understanding of the medicine, no understanding, just whatever comes they give it. 3 remedies, 4 remedies, 10 remedies. So I asked them, why you are doing it? So they say that because after coming from the college, there is no teacher who guide us. For example, they say after coming from the college, when we go to our teacher with our case, he doesn't tell us anything. Because the teacher is afraid that if he tells the medicine to the student will be successful, then his own practice will go down. Now, this is started happening. So that the students in the 1990s, 95 were very frustrated because there was no teacher for them after the college. So after the college, they were looking for somebody who can guide them. So when I started as a young, I was around 32, 33 when I started teaching giving the lectures to the older ones, senior homeopaths. They also believe that you are young, but we need somebody, you can guide us, at least you tell us that this is the right way or wrong way. So I understood that till 1995, only 3% of the homeopaths in Punjab could believe that single medicine can work. Maybe till now I believe so. Because single medicine can work, single dose can work. We read in organ, we don't believe in practice. There are many rare. Very rare you will find somebody who can say that yes, it's a severe case of cancer and only one dose can be given. Nobody still believes it. So it was very hard for me to tell them one dose work. It took me 3 years to teach in Punjab, all over the Punjab. I was going in the villages. And then I found that how badly they are affected by this, that no teacher is available to guide them after the college. So what we are missing in our education is the first thing is no teacher available after the college to the student. So I think the first responsibility of the senior is to bring the student and tell them how to solve their cases, to show them this path, any path. Sorry, I can't hear you. Yeah.
Mumbai first seminar.
Sorry. Yes. Abroad, yes. My first seminar in abroad was in Czech Republic, first time alone with my brother. That was our first seminar. Okay, and before that, I was with my father in Netherlands. My journey started from Netherlands actually, not from India. And I assisted my father in '94 first seminar, our abroad seminar with my father. And then there, the organizer was little bit friendly with me in one day, in 2 days. So on the second day evening, he came to me and he said, tomorrow morning you are going to speak for 1 hour. So I was shocked because I had no understanding how to speak, what to speak. I was just a practitioner at that time. 5 year only happened and I only have. So I say, but I'm not prepared. I don't know how to even speak with the audience in front of them. I never did it in even in my college. I was never been on stage. He said, I don't know. Tomorrow morning I will announce that you are going to speak. Now I don't know what to do and what to speak about it. So I thought it's a joke. Still, I could not believe it. So in the morning, when I was with my father, we were sitting and on the table, and I was sitting because I was helping, listening my father. Sometime I was to write on the board what he speaks. So that rubric I was writing by myself. When my father says rubric, fear of betrayed or fear of this, so I write by the book on the blackboard so that people can see it. So I was just there and he said, he asked my father to stay back in the hotel for 1 hour as your son is going to speak today. And my father also could not believe this. And then I was waiting for my father in the seminar hall and he said, okay, now Yogesh is going to speak. Tell us about his experience in homeopathy for 5 years. And now I was like completely gone. But I don't know what happened. I started telling everything. A patient comes and this and this and this, and he told me this and this. I used this rubric. I don't know how I passed 1 hour. I did it anyhow. It was my first experience. So he said, I know you can do it. I said, well, you know if I can do it, but I never know that I can do it. I could do this. But then after that, I got the opportunity to go to Czech Republic. From there, my journey started. That was my first international seminar abroad, not in India, first time in abroad, first launch. So it was, I had to study. So the part of study comes after I started teaching. And before that, it was like only learning for practice. Then learning for teaching is a different part completely. So when you are learning for practice, you are only doing something, okay, this is this, okay, you can do it. But for teaching, you have to be very broad. You have to read organ and chronic. I mean, every book you have to read again, every through. People can ask you any question. So I have to improve faster. So there was no time to grow. But from 1995 to 2000, I started taking individual lectures, small lectures in Punjab first time. And then I think I was continuing in Czech Republic till 99, 4 years I was there. Also in UK, some lectures, 1 or 2 times. Then I went to Australia alone, and that's how my journey started. Pick up. Yes, many times. We were just still working. Only this year we have started because of so many now teaching assignments. We cannot be go together, so we have to separate now. Now in 2015. Yes. No. I had no opportunity to work with him. Only few times when he was, for example, to substitute him when he is not well, I will go to his clinic. Mostly I was with my father, 99%. Mhm. See, the first thing is that what is the method about? The method, we call something a method. For example, it is a single way. For example, we work only on mind, so it's a single way to view an individual in a broader sense. So it means that there is an individual patient, a person is coming. Our way is only one way. We view him only in one way, and then we make a broader picture of that person. So this is a method, and I have no, I had no idea. But now in Europe, in Germany, especially in Germany, they told me that I think they have accepted now that only one method exists now in as a method. Only cycle is one method. Others are the complementary part, or they are substituting the classical method. So they are part of classical method. The method they can say only is Sehgal, because it is only single way of doing work. It means that there is a danger in our method. The danger part of this method is the you can say the negative part of this method is if you fail, you are completely failed. Okay, because there is one way. There is no other way. If you fail, you fail. But if you succeed, you will hit it. So it's like you can hit it or you are failed. In classical method, the possibility that you are not successful, but you are not failure. Because when you choose 10 symptoms, when you are giving a medicine, for example, on thirst, on thermal, on generalities, on modalities, okay, so it means that something will hit to the patient. For example, you choose one medicine, pulsatilla. You take one mind symptom that he is very mild. Then you can say, okay, pulsatilla likes this kind of thirst. Pulsatilla is patient like this, and this. And then ultimately, the selection of the medicine can be done only on one basis. It means that when you are choosing 10 symptoms and giving pulsatilla, to confirm pulsatilla, everybody has one symptom on which is on the top of that to say, now he is pulsatilla. It means even if you have 10 symptoms, still you cannot say your patient is pulsatilla until unless you choose one symptom out of that which is more particular or peculiar to say that this is pulsatilla, this is Norcelicia or sepia. So your medicine is always based on the top one symptom. That you can say that people can make a totality, but after the totality they have to look for something which is top for the pulsatilla, and then they prescribe the remedy. Now here in this our method, as we are not using other part in the case taking, for example, thirst, modalities, right and left, generalities, we are only focused on the mind of the patient. So in this way, if we are wrong, then we are completely wrong. But if we are right, we are completely right. So it means that we have no other addition. We don't use any other addition when we prescribe a medicine. For example, when I prescribe a pulsatilla, I will look at how pulsatilla behaves in his life, and I don't use when I have to prescribe pulsatilla on the thirst, on the modalities, on the miasm. This we don't do it. So this is one thing in the clarification that how this method works. In this method, we don't use miasm, we don't use this. So there was very controversial. It remained very controversial. I tell you, from the 1980s till 1990, our method was very controversial. My father faced very many controversy, many like anger from the homeopaths. He was rejected, he was cornered, nobody liked him. It was a very bad phase in this way, but he persisted. He said, I know something is right here. Okay. So when we say Dr. Kent, I have only one thing. When Honeyman was right, Kent was right, Boining Hassan was right. Why we need now more methods? Wasn't it enough to go with Kent and find the remedy? Wasn't it enough to have Boining Hassan and find the remedy? Why we needed new things? It is good to have new things, but why we needed it? After Honeyman, why Kent? After Kent, why Bonington? After this what? Why many people change? Nobody followed Honeyman properly. After Honeyman, everybody has their own way. Kent has his own way, Bonington has his own way, Boger has his own way, Herring has his own way, Farrington has his own way. Everybody has his own way. Nobody followed the concept of Honeyman directly. Somehow they changed it. It means that they are finding they are, somebody say, for example, before Herring there was no law. So Hahnemann never followed the Herring law. He was doing only homeopathy. So he was doing basically homeopathy without any law. Kent was doing homeopathy without any law. So law was only applied by Herring and then the law came. And it means that everything was accepted and has to be accepted. It doesn't matter what A is doing, what B is doing, what C is doing. But the thing is that how my father's aim was very simple. He said that we could be successful in homeopathy if we find the result. So his aim was to find the result. It doesn't matter how, but you have to find the result rightly. He knows that otherwise the people will use homeopathy in a very short way. And they will do homeopathy in a very short way. Why homeopathy was not got popularity even after Hahnemann, after Kent? Why people were using only small homeopathy till 1990? It means there was no proper understanding of the method was going on. So what my father did, he stopped his practice from 1973 to 76. He stopped it. He said, until unless I will find a way, proper way to apply homeopathy, I will do it, otherwise I will leave it. And he was searching the ways then. He was not immediately searching the mind way. He was searching different ways. That where he can say that not only him, not that Dr. Sehgal is successful, but his all students should be successful in the same way. It is why that till now in the college, when as a student you learn Hahnemann homeopathy, why that 99% can't do it? What is wrong in it? What is the problem? One problem is if either we have failed to understand the whole concept, what he wanted to say. So we are using homeopathy as a allopathy nowadays. Just collect the symptoms, give the medicine. Collect symptom, give medicine. Nothing in between. No understanding of the man. Where is the man? Nobody knows, and nobody is interested here. For example, I'm working in Germany for many years now. The doctors who are working in homeopathy here, they are interested in therapeutic way. They have no time to understand the whole philosophy of a person. And that is what happened, that slowly, all the teachers from India, they got now rejected by Germans. Because we have our own stories, our own philosophy, they have no time. So they want that, tell us, you have a throat problem, you have a child problem, what do you do with the child? What do you do with the throat problem? So this homeopathy started doing now, happening here now also.
So many years in the country of Europe.
I think as in a general, a homeopath doesn't follow any rules and regulations. He follows what he thinks he can understand and practice simply. A homeopath all over the world, for example, I have traveled so many ways. I see that there is no homeopath as a student or as a practitioner who belongs to one system. It means they use homeopathy as a cafeteria. For example, Today, if this patient comes, I ask some many students here. When a patient, you have learned Vitholkas, you have learned Shankran, you have learned this, you have learned B, you have learned C, you are learning my method. How it is possible that when a patient comes, how you decide that on which way you want to prescribe the medicine? I mean, how is possible? Because if I have a knowledge of 6 or 7 things in my mind, and the patient comes, is it that with the beginning when the patient starts speaking that you think, oh, I now today is Vitholkas day, today Kent day, today Hanuman day, today Sehgal day. Do you do homeopathy like this? No, I listen to the case and then if I get something Sehgal way, I prescribe it. If I get something Vitholkas way, I prescribe it. It means they have not understood any way. They don't know what way to go. They are just collecting the information, and when the comes, they open the CD and see what is coming, and whatever comes, they give it. So they have not understood anyone here in the Europe. They have their own ideas now. They have developed their own things. So it means that what we are trying to do is those students who are in with us now for many years. So if I see that any teacher with Holkas, Kent, Honeyman, if they have 5,000 students who learn from them, I think only if I calculate 10% of them are totally with them. Rest of them are doing mixed things, every method. So it means that there is no dedication about the system. Okay, the first reason is this system got originated in 79 as a one thing. From there the journey started. The journey started alone with my father who originated this. He brought this idea slowly to few doctors whom he knows in daily group. So he was rejected. In 1983 he was struggling to tell them that what he's doing, please listen to me, please listen how I'm using the rubric. But they were laughing and throwing him out. So it was a big struggle from 79 to 83 to tell the people what is working, no, out, not out. Only few, 5 or 6 students, 10 students, they know about it. So this student moved slowly, going out and talking with the people about the homeopathy, that there is a new system has come, mind rubrics, please listen to us. So it was like, like a Buddhist, you go to door and say, please listen what is happening. So it was like a 90% rejection and 10% acceptance, but in a way, I will see like this. So till 1987, the system start like it was a seed, and now a little opening come till 1987. It means 5% of the from the Delhi, only Delhi, and Punjab was not there at all. Bombay was nobody, only Delhi and Ujjain and Indore. I don't know how Ujjain and Indore came in between. Some people, we have no books that time also, no literature to say what Dr. Sehgal is doing, except photocopies of some pages. We used to make photocopy, I remember, make photocopies of some lectures and typing myself and giving to the people without money. So it was a very hard time till 1987 to even to tell people. It means if we from 79 to 87, if my father has told this system to 100 people, only 6 or 7 accepted it that time. So it was no boom, nothing there. After 1970, 87, 88, the period when it started looking outside little bit, and 1990, Dr. Rajan Sankaran observed, he got this idea first time, 1990. Then he invited, 1993, he was with my father and it saw the light, little bit light to come out. So 1993 afterward, this system was little bit propagated towards Punjab. I started teaching in Punjab in 1997. So it means that nearly 18 years after we got recognition that it is something is there. So you can say that we have only 18-year-old where the homeopathy itself is 200-year-old and not been accepted by the population. So we are only 18-year-old. Now, for example, in my last book, in the missing link, maybe you have seen it, my father's biography in it. The question you have asked now, this was my idea that why people are not adopting us, what is wrong with us, why we are not able to reach to the people, what is the difficulties in this method, why the people come to the seminar but they leave it. And this is, I can talk about my method, I have no idea what other people are doing with other things. So I found that somewhere after my father, 2002 and 2003, we started our journey to spread a little bit faster. To spread further, we need a structure. We need a school. We need a financial support. We need, to go outside. And it's not easy that I can say, Dr. Manish Bhatia, please come and listen to my seminar. Why you should come? Until unless you see that something is happening. And in Delhi, especially in Delhi, I'm in Delhi for so many years. In Delhi, even if you call anybody, even a big teacher, the response in Delhi is, I'm satisfied from 9 to 9 work. Why should I study? Why should I listen? So Delhi is like this, and Jaipur and this state, I don't know how their education level is there. I never been to Jaipur. But we started teaching slowly, entering into the college. The problem with us is there is a group against us always. For example, there is a college in Jaipur, and Dr. Manish Bhatia referred me to the college, but there is a block. One of the faculty member doesn't agree. One of the principal doesn't agree. So we have many walls around us. Nobody allowed us to go into fully. Nobody accepted us fully. So that was one of the problem that people could not understand, and also to understand something, as I told you, we need a practitioner. For example, if a student comes from the college, for him it's like a big mystery. What is this? He can't understand us. So now we have changed our way from 2014 to 15. We are more successful after we change our perception or change our teaching level. So we made modification in us. So we try to understand how to teach this method and how the people can practice. And the idea is not that everybody should take my method. This is not my idea. That is not possible and it should not be done like this. It is only that those people, my father asked, for example, if a student comes to my father and he says, I want to learn method. So my father's first question was to him, are you successful in your practice? And if the student says, yes, I'm very successful, then my father would say to him, you don't need it, this method. So my father's idea is to bring this method only for those people who were not successful in homeopathy. Those who were successful, he said, don't come to me. Only those who come who are living homeopathy, they cannot do anything. Even they fail in giving 10 medicine at all. They don't know how to give 10 medicine. Then my father says, come to me. I tell you a very simple system. Only by mind, take this and go and practice. I remember one incident, you may laugh. A doctor came My clinic was in Daryaganj one time. A doctor was going to Prawnee Delhi railway station, and he had 2 hours in between the train. And my clinic was so he came to know that Dr. Sehgal has a clinic in Daryaganj, and from there Prawnee Delhi railway station is only 20 minutes. So he just landed in the clinic. And he says, "Sir, I heard about you from somewhere, and I know you are a very good doctor. What do you do?" And now I don't know what to tell him in 1 hour. I said, "I don't know how to tell you in 1 hour what we do." He said, "But tell me, at least tell me what you do so that," he said, "I'm practicing, I'm very successful in my area. I sell 10,000 rupees tincture, mother tincture every month. That time in 92 maybe. And practicing tincture. I never give medicines like you say, one single medicine. Then I say, I make a paper. I say, okay, if a patient says this and this and this, belladonna. If a patient says this, opium. If a patient says this, stramonium. I gave him 5 lines of 5 medicines and give him the paper. I said, take this paper, if it works, okay. If not, then throw it in the dustbin. After 1 month, when I opened the clinic, there was a man, he was standing outside with 2 suitcases. I said, are you going again back to the station? He said, no, I'm not going back to the station. I closed my clinic. I want to learn this art. I told my family I will not come home till I understand this art. I left home, I left my clinic. I thrown all the mother tincture in the gutter. I said, what happened? He said, next day I opened my clinic. I used to give mother tincture and never have global. But I bought these 5 medicines which you told me from the chemist, and I put there 30 opium, 30 stramonium, 30 belladonna, 35 remedies. And then he said, I put the paper there on my table like this to see what it works or not. He says patients started coming. He was seeing 100 patients a day or maybe more. And he said that when the patient come, I look this paper. Yes, he's saying this like this. Number 3, opium, okay, take. He says like this, stramonium, okay, take. And he said, I started doing this for 1 week. He said the results are so miraculous. I can't believe that one single dose can work. Only this, if 5 medicine can work like this in one paper. And then he said after 3 weeks, he said the patient asked him, why not you are giving from the bottles now? You were used to give us bottles of liquid to drink and drink. And now you are giving only 1 dose and say, take this. He says, this is my guru's wealth, this paper. And because they say every time when you come, you read the paper and give the medicine. One paper, give the medicine. So he said, now it's more than 28 years, he never touched any mother tincture in his life. So this is the way, I think it can be that once you need adoption. First thing, understanding of a thing, and then you need a big adoption, big heart to adopt it. Until unless you don't have a big adoption. And now what happened? All the pharmacy around his clinic are our enemy. Because he was selling 10,000 rupees tincture, and now he's having only 5 bottles of medicine for 50 rupees, and he's successfully running the clinic. So they were coming to him, what are you doing? Why you throw our bottles in the gutter? He said, because I only use Sehgal method. They are very against us. They say, oh, who is this man? Who did this homeopathy like this? So that is the fact. The fact is people should have a patience to learn something. Adoption is there. So many things, I think when I hear even some doctors from Bombay who are very successful in teaching, they came to understanding that somehow people are not following them the way they wanted. So something is going wrong in other directions now. It is very difficult to make somebody to adopt you. You can make somebody to listen to you. It is very difficult somebody to adopt you. This is one of the points.
That's one. But the
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, tell me why aspirin was used for headache for so many years alone. One thing
Because there
is
was
okay, no. Still, people are going for aspirin in the Europe. Headache, aspirin. Aspirin is like nothing else is there except headache for them. Okay, number one. Number two, we are scientific people. We should believe in proof and research. We are not religious people or spiritual people or gurus that we should believe in a guru word of tatastu and everybody says tatastu. It's not that way. It means that either we are not scientifically, when somebody asks me this question, even the big bosses, they ask me this question. So I say, why you ask me? I cannot prove this. For example, take belladonna in your clinic and adopt it, and you will see yourself the proof. Science needs proof. Science cannot be done on the words. I cannot clarify or tell you. But in Germany, people were like this asking. So I say to them, use it. First, what I say, use it. Then you will see why it is coming so often. It was really, when I started practicing, it was a question for me from 1990s to 95. 70% belladonna I was giving. So sometimes I could think about myself, if I'm stupid or what. How come it's possible that everybody is belladonna, everybody is this? Maybe my knowledge is stuck. Maybe I'm not opening up. Maybe somewhere I have only one knowledge of one medicine and nothing else. So I'm seeing maybe my mind is blocked. So I counter myself that something is wrong with me, maybe. How is possible that I can see belladonna always or platina or this? Actually, my father started with the two drugs in the beginning, platina and cantheris. Belladonna came very late. And it was a propagation against us by those who hate us, who wanted us to win the controversy. Belladonna was not a part in our, belladonna came in late in 1990. It was earlier other remedies, platina, hipersulf, rustox, cantheris. We started with this stramonium. Belladonna was later discovered by my father. Everything is a discovery. This was a discovery for him. It was not that he wanted that everybody should give belladonna. It's a part of discovery. So, as a part of discovery, I request everybody, please be a part of discovery rather than controversy. If you are become a part of discovery, okay, homeopathy will be more successful. If you are a part of controversy, then you are spoiling your own energy and your own power. So better to be a part of discovery and try to understand why not belladonna? Why not? It is a medicine discovered by homeopath, given by homeopaths for many years. Even the Kent and Honeyman used it. Why not? You people can use it. If a medicine can help a human to solve his problem, it doesn't matter why belladonna, why not? It means that some it is true when we are in a group here in Germany. I have clinical groups in this room. We finished yesterday here, and yesterday we seen 4 live cases here. In 4 live cases, 2 were belladonna. One was belladonna, 2 was gelsemium, like this, and 1 was sulfur. And when I prescribed the medicine belladonna for Hashimoto problem, there was a new student, and she said, "For Hashimoto belladonna? How come? I will never give." This is the problem. Why? It means you are thinking about Hashimoto, you are not thinking about the man who is belladonna. You are thinking about Hashimoto disease and you want to find a remedy for this in this man, but you are not looking man in the Hashimoto. And then he understood that the idea is that in large, if you read the story of belladonna, for example, if I ask you, just read the story of belladonna as a whole, try to understand. You will say yes, I tell you, there was a little story about a doctor from USA. He asked for the books. We sent the books in 95. He was the one who gave us the first computer. I never saw the computer before. He brought from America that time. And he got the book. He called me one night and he said, Dr. Sehgal is there. I said, okay, I'm his son. Yes, what I can do. He said, I read your first 2, 3 books and you were written that belladonna was 40% cases. I only read the chapter with belladonna. And then he said, one week, I thought if I had such a patient in my clinic, in my practice for 10 years, then I understood, yes, there was some patient who were talking like in this book which you have written about like this. He said, I asked everybody to come back because they failed. I requested them, please come one time back to me. And he said that I collected 25 patients whom I think look like belladonna as you written in the book. And he said, everybody I gave belladonna, 30. And he said that 80% people got better. And then he says, I'm coming to you, to India, to read the books with you. It's amazing. He said, I could not believe it. But 80% result he got. He said, your father says 40%. I say it's 85%. It means we fail to adopt in homeopathy thing. That's why homeopathy is bad. If a allopath, they say, there's a new drug in allopathy, they make a research, and they bring a new remedy research. All allopaths around the area in the world, they adopt it without any controversy. They don't challenge it. It is only in homeopathy that when a discovery comes, the first thing is controversy starts. Why don't we adopt a system? Yes, please welcome. Tell us why belladonna. I would like to do it. Why not? It is good for my patients. Why don't we have such a perception about our colleagues? If Dr. Manish Bhatia tomorrow brings sulfur and say sulfur is 80%, and I laugh, this is not good, how can it possible? But you are successful. Your patients are healthy, they are happy, so I must believe it. So it is that we are controversial. So I say that we should have a healthy discussion, not a controversial discussion, just to prove that why this, why not. It means that it is very logical, Dr. Manish, very logical. Why should I prescribe belladonna to a patient to fail my practice? It's a very logical question. I told even to many masters in Bombay, personally, I'm not a stupid person. That I spoil my practice. Forget about me, okay. Why there are thousands of people who are using belladonna? Are they stupid? Do they want to spoil their practice? No, nobody wants to spoil their practice. It means they are getting results. That's why they are prescribing belladonna. And when they see belladonna more quickly, it means that it's not about belladonna. Sometimes I prescribe. So it depends. To understand why belladonna, it means that first thing is that we are not prejudiced about a remedy. We are unprejudiced. This is unprejudiced. I think there is no best example that we are unprejudiced. We are not prejudiced about that why belladonna. This is prejudicial. Prejudiced. So how it means that if once I told my friend who was from Bombay, I said that if I give, for example, Salisha to a patient, if this Salisha is not a remedy for this patient, it will fail. For example, it means if I'm prescribing belladonna, if it will not fail. When it works 40%, we are not saying the whole entire. Now 40% doesn't mean every day 40%. 40% means that most of the patients when they come after 1,000, there are 100 patients they speak like this. Yes. So the question is that how to be unprejudiced observers. This is my question. Why belladonna? So my question to them is then what is unprejudiced observer? An unprejudiced observer who can prescribe the medicine, what he not that what he believes can work. If I see that my patient is better, I have to give it without prejudice. That if oh why am I giving it? I should not give it because every time it's possible. Why not possible? So we should be open-minded. I think we should be open-minded rather than going into the controversial. My father says after 10 years he says I'm out of controversy now. I don't want to spoil my energy in answering the people. If they satisfy, okay. If not, I must carry my work simply. I will do my work if people are behind me or not. So he carried on. No, but my question to you is, do you feel that somewhere the people who ask for belladonna, why belladonna controversy, do as a editor, or do you feel it's good question? What do you think? Yeah, this is true. This is true.
I have not studied, but
Yes. No, it's okay. It's okay. Even whatever they say, I'm just asking as a intellectual person. Even if you hear or overhear and you have no proof, so I think you should write in your article also that we should not believe in over here and we should be more realistic way to think about issues. Maybe in the for Sehgal method you can say that after you, I mean, we should be believe in more realistic attitude rather than should be more blunt attitude towards anything. For example, this is, yeah, I mean, okay, there are the two things. How it works, that is very good, and why
yes,
it works. When you say how it works, it means you are open minded. But when you say why it works, it means you have a doubt. So every question with how is welcome. If you say,
yes.
Dr. Sehgal, how you apply this rubric, I can explain you. But if you ask me why you apply this, I have no answer. For example, I asked you,
Your
Dr.
point.
Manish, why do you like tea? So you said, why do I like tea? Because tea, now millions of people they drink tea.
Yes,
Why? Then we have to question that why the tea, everybody likes tea gives good. Why? So it means that there is no, everything is you on yourself. You have to experience it. This is how we experience it. This is how many people they experience it, like open-minded person.
yes,
Yes, that's the question. Ask yourself first thing.
yes.
Why I do this then in my life?
So, Dr. Sehgal, another question that I often hear as an editor or I come across is this question. Yes.
Yes,
Symptoms.
yes, yes,
Uh,
yes, yes, yes. Mhm.
is that only
Mhm. Mhm.
prescription.
Yes, possible. Mhm. Yes, yes, I understand your question. Yes, 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 can be done. Mhm.
that? So
Because yes, the question is very good, and we have been trying to explain this to everyone again and again. When you are talking about physical plus mental, you are talking about physical symptom plus mental symptoms. Then you can club it. Then it's possible. We are talking about mental state of a patient, which include physical state and mental state. Now, for example, when a patient comes to you with headache, how when a patient comes with to a homeopath, then how we start our case taking. Patient says, I have a headache. I think generally, oh, headache. Where is the headache? Show the hair or hair or hair or hair or this like this or hole or what. So it like we go for location. It should be right sided or left like this. Starting, the pain starts, how it relieves, how it goes. It's like betterment or worse part of the headache. What makes worse? What makes better part? Then you go like this. Then you say, okay, anything else? Oh, I feel very angry during the headache. Okay, now you see anger. There is no rubric anger, headache during or anger like this. Maybe anger is there. Okay, so a big anger is there. Anger from what? It doesn't matter. Anger. Or I have a dream. Or I have a when the headache is there, I have much anxiety. I feel very anxiety. Oh, anxiety in a large way. But what is anxiety? What? There's no idea. And the case is done like this, and then they find what are remedies are coming here in repertorization. If the remedies are coming like gandelia or like spigelia or like something different, and belladonna comes also there. No, belladonna can't be there. Why not we give the medicine which is only for headache? It means that after you even repertorization, your mind says you are giving a medicine to the headache one, which is more prominent in the sixth remedies. It means as a student, you are not still giving the medicine on the basis of the symptom you have collected. At the end of the repertorization, you look for the remedy which is best for the headache, and the five remedies which are not for headache, but they have a good number there. So it means that ultimately so why to repertorize them? You know the remedies of headache, open the headache remedy, give one of the headache remedy. So why to make it such a big picture of a case taking? So at the end you do simply the same way. For example, so it means that we are doing allopathy simply because we are focusing on headache. But where is the person in here? You took mind, you took physical symptom, you prescribe a medicine which is best for headache, which is right-sided or left-sided also. For example, if it is lycopodium or it's a lycolycosis, then choice is not lycosis or lycopodium. The choice is the side. You don't know what is lycosis, you don't know what is lycopodium. You only see that it is left side, and my repertorization says lycosis is there, 4 number, very good, give it. There is no connection of your understanding to the remedy, there is no connection to the man, only connection to the headache. Now, this is one part of the case taking, which is I learned in college and I started doing like this. So I was thinking that we are doing in an allopathic way, we are targeting the headache then. So where is homeopathy then? Where is our law? Where is our man? Now, when a patient comes to me for headache, I ask the patient, first question is, if the headache is the only reason for you to come, or there is another reason for you to come. It means as an unprejudiced, first I want to be unprejudiced. I don't think that this patient is coming only to me for headache. So I want to make it clear, if you have come to me for headache or some other reason also, basically. So the patient says headache is one of the reasons to come, but basically the problem is I'm worried if the headache is cancer or not. Now you can say that what to read now, to read headache or to read this information. The patient says, I come to you not for headache only, but the reason for me which brought me to you is when the headache is there for 1 year, I started thinking that it could be something dangerous, maybe brain tumor, maybe cancer. This idea has making me more restless, anxiety. I could not sleep for 1 week because of my friend, he died. I listened, my relative died because he was having a headache and it was diagnosed as a tumor and then he died. So after I heard this news, I became more conscious. What is this headache? So now the concern is headache or the cause of what is happening behind the headache. Whom to treat now? It means we have to treat the headache, but this golden symptom the patient which is giving to you, which has brought the patient to you, is this only. It means he was suffering from headache for 1 year, but he didn't come to the doctor. So headache was not a concern for him because he was taking paracetamol, he was taking aspirin, he was taking some painkiller. Headache was getting better. So headache was getting better by painkiller. But this concern that it could be a tumor, it could be a this, whole structure change his idea. He said, I'm not able to eat now. I lost my appetite because of it. The idea, when the idea came that it could be a tumor, I lost my appetite. I'm not able to sleep anymore now. I have no interest in my work now. So which has taken the work, appetite and sleep away? The idea, not the headache. So it means that now I have to understand the idea. What is behind this idea now? If I understand this idea and prescribe the remedy, the first thing the idea will go out, and beside after that the headache will go out. It means that we have to fit the target. The target is idea, and the idea is giving me the entry point to the headache now. It means the idea has originated from headache only, not from the leg, not the arm, from the headache itself. But this is a very good statement of the that I'm worried now. It could be. Can I go for checkup, doctor? What do you think, doctor? Is it a cancer? So I say that why you are talking about cancer? Why do you think it should be cancer? He said because if headache is not a worry for me, I'm not going to die. But if it is a tumor, I will die. The fear that he will die is the major behind this now. If the patient says if it could be little cyst, little thing, I know I'm not going to die. I think I would not have come to you. Just the idea that it could be tumor and I can die, I come to you. So this is my case taking. My case taking is first I ask the patient why you come to me. He has to tell me why he come. So this is, I feel, that the more unprejudiced way, not to start the treatment immediately when the patient says I have a pain, stomach pain, I have a fever. For example, even fever. If a patient is coming to you for fever which is there for only 4 hours, we started treating the fever immediately without asking that. Then where is the mental symptom when the patient is coming for? For example, I must ask the people who says that we are one-sided. When the patient is coming to you for fever, which is there for 4 hours, do you take mind symptoms? How many takes mind symptom for fever? Only Sehgal method takes. Still in this method, this is a method. It means that this method is same for fever. This method is same for cancer. That's why it is a method. It means that we don't need to change anything in our case taking, in our selection of the medicine. The procedure is same for everything. So it is very easy. If you learn this method, you can treat a case of a fever in the same way as you are going to treat a case of a cancer. So that's the first thing. It means that we are changing our case taking according to the in a classical way. We are changing our case taking according to the acute and chronic. So there is no structure. There is no classical way, but in Sehgal method there is a structure. We follow a complete structure. If you learn this structure, for example, a patient is coming to you with fever, and he has a 4 hour after in the morning he has a fever, in the evening he comes. He said, doctor, I have a fever 104. So our idea as a homeopath start. Oh, I have to take down the fever. I have to work on the fever. And then we say, okay, fever is there. Are you thirsty? Show me your tongue. Are you thirsty? How much water you drink? If the sweat is there or not? If perfuse this. So we are still need to ask the question related to the fever only. But where is the person? So I ask the person simply, if you come for fever only to me, still the same question. He said, doctor, actually the fever is from the morning. I took paracetamol. It got better. I took paracetamol before coming to you also. So I asked, when you have taken the paracetamol, what is the need for you to come to me then? Why you come to homeopath now? He said, I come to you because I am feeling very weak. I am not able to move now. Paracetamol is taking care of my fever. But after the fever, I feel very weak. I don't know what to do for this fever. So I thought maybe I go to homeopath and take the medicine for weakness. Now we understand that this patient is not coming for fever, this patient is coming for weakness. So my perception completely changes. That is what we are trying to teach here in Germany. What they like this, that. They never ask the patient. And I tell them, please ask the patient why he comes to you. Nobody asks this question to the patient. And we start treating him without asking. After half an hour of the case taking, he said, Doctor, if you don't mind, can I tell you something? Actually, I did not come to you for headache. Because you did not give me time to ask. You kept asking and the headache, I'm telling you about the headache, but actually headache is not my problem. My problem is my knee. Oh, so why you didn't tell me before? He said you did not give me the time. So I give the time to the patient first minute, 1 minute, 2 minutes to think why he come to me. And then after 1, 2 minutes, the patient says, this question nobody asked. Now I tell you why I come to you because I think I'm not happy in my family. This is my concern. My problems are there, but I don't anybody take any doctor trust. When I say to a doctor, I'm not happy with my family, they say, don't tell this. Tell us your physical problem. What is the problem now? So they bring my direction, they ignore my this symptom and ask me to focus on the physicals. And then I tell them about my pain. They give me the remedy. Pain gets better. But my situation is same. I'm not happy in my life. It means I have to give happiness first and then the problem goes away itself. This is how we are doing homeopathy. So our homeopathy is not one-sided actually. Our homeopathy is a holistic approach to consider a patient who is in a pain. The patient who is in a pain, how he behaves in a total, in nutshell. This is our approach.
Dr. Sehgal, one of the
Yes. Very good. That's why we have two things in homeopathy. Observation. You have to be good observer and good listener. It means that a patient who can speak, you should be a good listener. And a patient who cannot speak, then you have to be a good observer. Both ways. It means a child cannot speak, but he can weep, he can cry. That is enough for us. There are people who are not able to speak with you. How will we treat them? If a 40-year-old patient comes to you, he can't speak, he's done, he has no voice, how will you understand him? By gestures. So that's why gestures are very important in the case of children. And we depend upon the gestures in our observation. It means that for me, the best case is the best case is the child case for me. Why? Because they have no bias in the life, they have no controversy in the life, they have no politics in the life. They are very simple and plain patients. You can cure them the best way than the adult because adult can change his statement, but child cannot change the statement. It's very good that you can see a 1 month old child, 2 month old child. We are treating them very successfully. But the thing is, once you adopt, that's what I'm saying. Once you adopt this approach which is one-sided and looks one-sided, actually helps you to solve the case of an infant or an adult or a fever or a cancer in the same method. Method is same. So we are not changing our case taking for an infant or, for example, for an adult. It means my observation is through again mental state of a child or an infant. Sorry? Yes. Yes. Okay. We are making research on and often on this issue. My father started in the beginning with the 30 potencies. Always he recommended till his death that 30 potencies are good, though he researched on 12, 6 like this. And after his death in 2008, I started with 3 potency. And I started giving everybody 3 in the beginning from 2008, 2009. And now I'm choosing 3, 6, and 30. So according to the energy level, I give the potency. For example, if a patient says my energy is 9 out of 10, very good energy, I give 30. If a patient says my energy is only 1 out of 10, then I give 3. So it's like a materialistic more doses you need according to the energy. And I saw that the cases which according to me are flopped, according to me are not successful in 2008, 2009, what I tried that I was not sure. I was sure my medicine is right. That was surety. I was not. I was not. I was not able to understand why it is not working. I called at least. I recall my patients back. I say I need to see you, and they say okay, and they came. I say that okay, I've been treating you for some reason, sometimes 6 months, and you are not responding. Stop your medicines and take this medicine now. I gave them everybody 3 that medicine, and wonderfully 60% of them responded. And that changed my mind. Then why they are responding? They were not responding to 6:30. I tell you a very good case. One of the school teacher, his niece gets very badly. I didn't know about it for 2 months. She was given belladonna 6:30, 200, 110, and 50, and CM also. She was in a hospital. They were not able to diagnose what is the issue with the girl. She was having a fever every day, not coming into the control. She was losing the weight, going down slowly and slowly. He tried all homeopathic medicine, even other system also in a desperate way because the family pressure was there. Why only doing Sehgal method only? Go to other system. So what happened that after 2 months when I came to know about it, I say, oh, so sad. So one day, his brother, I just called as a courtesy call to his brother. Hey, what happened to your daughter? I listened that she's very sick. What happened? He started crying on the phone. He said, my daughter will die. I know what he will say about. She is going to die. He was weeping. And he said, I'm going to the AIMS now. We don't know what to do. They called us. She was already in the AIMS for 5 days. And they were not able to do anything for her. So I just say, okay, you are going to the hospital, AIMS. I'm living in Mayur Vihar. But at what time is your appointment? So he says, my appointment is tomorrow. I say, is it possible you bring the child to me? Bring it to me. And home. So they came and I spent only 10 minutes with the child. What happened? What is the issue? Just normally. And I found that she is belladonna. I gave her belladonna 3. After half an hour, she said, Mummy, I want juice. First time in 2 months. After half an hour. After 3 hours, she said, I want to eat something. And her mother was very happy. And we gave her chapati and sabji to eat. Next morning, her fever was gone. And now she is a homeopath. She came to homeopathy because of this. And after that, she never needed any medicine. Only 3. This is the problem. It means that sometimes we believe our medicine is wrong. If I would convince how a belladonna can do this case, such a serious case, she is going to die. If I will prejudice about belladonna that time, and I would not dare to give belladonna 3, this case would not have been solved. So this is my way. Our discovery is that we are open people and we see the case on its merit of on its merit, not that what homeopathy says, on the merit. If the patient is belladonna, I must give it. Forget about what other people think about it. It means that our convincing is very fast. We are very convinced, we are 100% convinced that the medicine which we have created, like belladonna, jalsemium, those remedies which was not prescribed, for example, stramonium, Tizagria, Ignatia, Naxvomica, Pansatilla, we have changed their view to prescription. It means that we are still prescribing those medicine, 20 and 25 remedies, which were prescribed by Honeyman and Kent so often in their life, with successful. Only thing is we are now change the direction to see it in a more broader way. It means we are convinced the way Dr. Kent, Dr. Honeyman has worked on Naxvomica, but we have to find now in another way, more way, that how can it be possible to reach this remedy more often than to neglect them. So, for example, it's a case there when a homeopath in Germany comes and I say, take Naxvomica 30. Sure. And Naxvomica is such a small remedy. Now, Naxvomica, sulfur, they become here is small remedies for them, useless remedies. And they say, but I have taken so many medicine, nothing helped. So why? So many medicine not help you. Take Naxvomica, it will help you, definitely. And then they started taking it, and they say, yes, I'm amazed. I never thought for 10 years I'm Naxvomica. I was thinking that I'm like this, I'm like this, I'm like this, but never think that simply I'm Naxvomica person. So that's why my approach is simple and practical. I tell my students, if you want simple and a practical approach, you can come to me. I have no imagination, no speculation. I have nothing in my mind. I never take it in my seminar about speculations, imaginations. Oh, patient could be like this. You know what is happening with the student in India. In India, the students are confused now, completely confused. They don't know whom to follow now. Because there are so many markets outside the college. Inside the college, they are safe. The moment they step out of the college, there are shops around it. This method, may B method, C method, D, E, F, G, H, and they are like, oh, which method to go now? So it's like somebody is saying, this is very good, please come. This is very good, please come. I teach you this. Now I tell the student, you don't need to study materia medica. You don't need to study the repertory. You know it already in the college. But you have to study to apply them. You don't need to study a new remedy. You have to study Naxvomica, but you don't know how to apply it. I tell you how to apply it. Simple. Come to me. I tell you, see. So what I'm doing here is that this is a classical way of Naxvomica. Yes. Now, for example, in classical, I ask the student, why we give Naxvomica? Ineffectual desire for stool. Yes, everybody knows this. Yes, sir, ineffectual desire for stool. Very good. You know this. So what Naxvomica does? Because he has ineffectual desire for stool, he has to clear his stomach. He has to go to the toilet. The stomach gets clear. He makes 5 attempts, 7 attempts, 8 attempts in a day. He keeps on making attempts till his stomach gets clear. But he doesn't give up. This is ineffectual desire is coming. He has to clean, otherwise he is not satisfied. Is it right? They say yes. Well, this is right. If we have same thing in mind repertory, they say no, we don't know. Then I say it is there. It is called when a patient is making attempts and attempts to clear the things without getting tired. This is called perseverance. Okay. Perseverance, because of the perseverance, he is going to the toilet again and again, not because of ineffectual desire. This perseverance makes him to go to the toilet again and again. Otherwise, if we remove this perseverance, Naxvomica will not go to the toilet again and again. Then they understand, now we understand why this. It means a student has the idea of this, but he doesn't know why he is doing this. So when I club this together, then they understand this is called physical and mental state together. And other thing is, Naxvomica makes attempts to clear the stomach until unless the stomach is not clear, he doesn't feel satisfied. So what is this? Fastidious. So I give them 2 rubrics only for the one physical symptoms. So this is how we teach. For example, I say, you know bryonia. They say, yes, sir, we know bryonia. Why bryonia you need to give? Oh, when bryonia is afraid of walking, when he's walking, he has pain. So what he does, he take rest. But so why he takes rest? Why? Why he cannot walk? If he has a pain, he should walk because he has a business in the mind. He should walk. But why bryonia rest then? This they don't know. They know that classically bryonia is worse by this and better by this, but they don't know why. So I tell them that bryonia takes rest because of fear of suffering. If fear of suffering is not there, bryonia will never be in the bed. Then they know why bryonia lies down. This is my education. It means we are teaching them physical and mentals like this now. But the thing is, they say that we should be in the college in the final year. But unfortunately, no faculty accept us in the final year. They think when we come to the college, we take away all the studies. This is one fear. But we are trying to tell them we are going to complement the studies, not to take away the studies. If I tell a student why bryonia rest with fear of suffering, he will understand more better bryonia than only asking the patient why you rest. But it doesn't make so, I mean, it's so clear, I think, the idea. If I tell to Dr. Manish, this is perseverance of Narsamika, you will not understand. But if I give you example from the physical and perseverance together, you will say, now I understand the both things. Yes. The first thing we have done is to make our own software, Sehgal Expert System, which is very popular now, getting popular slowly and slowly. And most of those who wanted to continue in our system, but because they have no approach directly to me and they could not reach me every time when they are in trouble, that's why we now made this Sehgal Expert System, number one. And this Sehgal Expert System makes them to understand the case taking, rubrics, and everything which we do now. That's the one thing we have done in this method. And second thing is we have made this Sehgal Clinical Vision website where we are putting videos from our seminars to make the people understand. And also we are trying to improve ourselves. It means that I'm not rigid, that this method is good. I know this method has a problem. So we are trying to solve the problem. We are trying to come out with the. So for example, there are many students of me, my friends, they say, okay, you are good in your method. We appreciate. But why don't you apply classical way, the generalities, miasm, you can apply also like this. So I say I have no problem. I'm educated homeopath. I know what is miasm. I know what is modalities. I can apply them and I'm doing it. For example, if a bryonia is aggravation by walk, I'm using it with fear of suffering. I'm not using it, but I'm telling you that I'm not against anything. But actually, we thought that we will be finished with this, our approach, and finish the study in 10 years. But we could not. That is the problem. And we have less time. I don't know how long life I have. And I have to finish these studies. We have to create more remedies now. We have reached at least to 60 remedies we have crossed. And still we have to go more remedies, at least 100 remedies should be there in Sehgal method so that people can apply this method. I don't want to give 500 remedies or 600 remedies. At least 100 remedies which are proved by us in clinical way is enough for me to be satisfied. But I am still 40 remedies behind. I need to create more approach in this system. I have to delete what is wrong in this system. So I know what is wrong in this system. So that is why we are making improvement now, day to day. When I listen, when my student tells me this method is not working, you tell me this rubric, I could not find this rubric, I don't know how to apply this rubric, then I think there is a fault in my teaching. I have to change it now. I have to make it so the student can understand it. I have to come down to my level to make the student understand what I want to say. So it means that every 5 years we make improvement in ourselves now. But this system is practically 18-year old, I can tell you. So in 18 years, I think we have done the best we could do with the finances, with no support, with criticals, with controversies. No college is accepting us. There's so much ban around us. Still, we have managed to go slowly out without aggression. You will never find in our, we tell our student, never be aggressive. Always be humble. When somebody comes to you, give in a humble way. Don't be so aggressive that he has to do this. He has to follow this method. We never say. In my seminar, I never mention anybody. Simply, I go, tell my word, and I tell them, don't follow me blindly. Prove it yourself. Go to your clinic, apply it. If it fails, tell me. I will try to improve it. If it is successful, you can tell others also. But you can tell me why this is not working. I will try to improve it. It means there is a lot of scope in our method yet to improvise it. We are still only, maybe I can say, 30 or 35% complete. 65% we have to complete. I don't know when and how. We never get completed, but still, I think this much work we still have to do. There's a lot of things has to be done in this method. That's why we are focusing. We could not change to other way because we are not finishing it. It's not that today I say, and there are so many students who are now using this method, and suddenly I can say, oh, I think this method is not good. Let's change the method. They will collapse. They will completely go on. Who are following my father's method for last 30 years, you can imagine if I tell them tomorrow morning and write that Sehgal method is changing now. We are changing to dreams now. We are changing to Maidam now. They will collapse. Everybody will collapse. At least 10,000 will collapse one day. So my job is to not to see how many people are following me. My job is to see what I'm doing is right, then I can follow it. So I think that I'm convinced, I'm happy with this method, and I think that I have to grow further, and this we are doing now. And the people need us to grow, because when we grow, they also grow. Yes. Just to interrupt you here, there is a student, there was a doctor. He attended my seminar, first seminar in Surat for 5 hours, and then he attended my seminar in Ahmedabad. He is a close follower of Vitholka's, very close, and also teaching there. He told me he's teaching also there in Vitholka's method. And after the Ahmedabad seminar, he was there for 2 days with me. He stood at the end of the seminar. He said, "I am the very staunch follower of Dr. Vitholkas. I've been following him for many years. Maybe he's teaching there or something." And he said, "I never understood the mind like this. First time I understood the mind only in this seminar. I never understood the way the mind can apply. This is only I was lacking." So it means that we are not saying we are complete. At least we are fulfilling the gaps in the people in their knowledge. For example, you are 95% correct, but you don't know how to apply fear of suffering. When you understand fear of suffering, how to apply in a patient, then you find yourself, oh wow, I know this now, I can apply this rubric also. So it's a good feeling in you that you have learned something extra. So I think every knowledge is welcome. Knowledge is like a water. The more you give, the more it spreads. So our job is to give the knowledge, not to keep in my side. So I'm not afraid what the people say about me when I'm talking about belladonna, talking about stramonium. I say this, I have, for example, I have knowledge of belladonna only. If you want, you take it. If you don't want, it's up to you. But at least I am giving you some knowledge, some clinical information which can work for you also. So why not to take it? So knowledge is to take it and not to controversially say I will not. For example, I give you a very small example. A doctor in Gujarat, his daughter, small daughter, 4 year old, was suffering, and he could not find a remedy from any method. And then there was a student of mine. He was talking with him. He said, "Give him belladonna 30." He said, "Are you stupid? Every medicine failed. You think belladonna will work in my daughter's case? I don't want to spoil my daughter." Okay. After 6 months, he met him again. His daughter was still suffering. "Please, I tell you, give her belladonna." And that time, somehow he gave belladonna, and his daughter got well in 1 week. And he was amazed that, oh, it means a bias. Why should I give belladonna? Belladonna is stupid remedy. Belladonna is acute remedy. How it will work? At least we are not prejudiced about these issues now anymore. Acute, chronic, small remedies, big remedies, right side remedy, left side remedy. So what my father did in a very simple way, he removed the boundaries. We are working under a boundary wall. Acute case here, chronic case here, syphilis chronic here, minor this is this, right this, left this. So we have created ourselves boundaries. So my father says, please be open this boundary wall, be in open field and see the life again. So my father was doing in this, the simple ways, he removed the boundaries, removed this homeopath like this, who are caged with this feelings. So he said, open yourself.
You have
Yes, mostly. Yes. This my father dared to be wise. So I think my father was right, dare to be wise. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, you have to be, yeah. And I think we should be more supportive to each other. And this is what we need now. The time has come. We need to support each other, to be in a one platform and to tell the world we are same. We are not different. See, you learn or not, at least you should be unity. You have a unity together. I don't want that we should be same. We can't. Even in our home, we are not same. But when the crisis comes, we are together. My son, my daughter, my wife, we are differently maybe behave, but when comes crisis, we are together. So I cannot say even in our family we are not same, but actually we are fighting for a cause. Yeah. Yes. Of course. See, it is very healthy to have a difference of opinion. It is very healthy. And that's the only step forward for discoveries. If we don't have difference of opinion, we cannot never we have discoveries then. But I think that we should welcome the discoveries in our own systems so that people should be dare to discover more. Otherwise, we are get dejected and rejected and discouraged, and nobody will make a discovery anymore. Hahnemann never wrote that after me nobody will discover. Yeah.